whether it's on a big scale or a small scale. It's not just for a small group of people, but it's for the masses now, which is scary because this is going to lead to the third level here. This making a deal with the devil, selling your soul now. I think all of this is pushing to what's ultimately coming down the road in the rise of the Antichrist and the mark of the beast. Because ultimately, when we're talking about making a deal with the devil, selling your soul, it's an issue of where does your allegiance lie? Where does your worship lie? That's essentially what's going on behind the scenes, behind that statement. Who do you worship? And I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm not going to predict times and the way it's going to happen, but there's going to come a time when the Antichrist is going to come on the scene and is going to deceive the world. The whole world's going to be deceived by this guy. Now think about that. That's crazy. Now, how would the whole world be deceived? When that scripture was written, I wonder what was going on in their head. Because number one, they have no concept of the whole world. They didn't know about North America and South America and maybe Australia. Like, they had no idea of the concept of how big the world was. But to have influence over the world, like that couldn't happen then like it can happen now. Now it makes perfect sense how the whole world could be deceived by one guy. Your cell phone, social media. The fact that everyone has a voice now. The fact that everyone is connected to everyone. The fact that if you're the government or media outlets, you can push out certain agendas that will go to every single person's phone. The fact that they can control algorithms of major social media platforms to push out certain topics, certain ways of thinking, certain philosophies to everyone's phone. Because there's I think combined TikTok and Instagram, like all of them, it's in the billions of people that have one. So this is how deception on a global stage can happen. Like our culture is now ripe for this kind of thing. And so there's going to come a point in time when he comes on the scene and he comes up with this mark of the beast, the infamous 666 mark of the beast, where the Bible clearly says if you want to buy or sell, if you want to basically function in this Antichrist-led society, you're going to have to take this mark. And if you don't, you can't live in this society. You can't function. And so if there's ever a system that's going to come on the scene where you have to literally sell your soul to live, this is it. And that's why I think this whole thing has been one massive push to the ultimate, to the climax of human history with the mark of the beast and the accepting of whatever that is. Now, again, a lot of speculation as to what the mark of the beast is. My personal opinion, I could be wrong in this, is it's not just a pass that will help, that will enable you to buy and sell and to, function in society. That's one level. But I think it's going to be a piece of technology that is going to literally alter the DNA of the person. Is going to, as we've seen in Genesis 6, where the fallen angels mated with human women, creating a hybrid race, which is what led to God setting the flood, because they were all hybrids. When you look at the conquest narrative in Joshua, why God told Israel to wipe out all the nations. Why? Because they were all giant clan nations. They were all hybrids. And then you look at the rise of this whole alien UFO phenomenon and the hybridization program. They're trying to create hybrids. They're trying to intermingle alien and human together. And then the rise of transhumanism, trying to create humanity 2.0. And so I think this mark of the beast is going to be a piece of technology, something that's going to alter the DNA of a person, where if they take this mark, the salvation becomes impossible because they will no longer be human. fully human the way God intended them to be. So that's why I think all of this time is leading up to this. This is the ultimate deal with the devil. Hey, take this mark, and yes, you can buy and sell and live in a society functionally, but you're going to become a superhuman. There's going to be some ploy, some tactic in there that's going to deceive humanity to take this mark and then alter their DNA, violate them in such a way that it becomes irreversible. And that's going to be the ultimate deal of the devil, selling your soul, giving your allegiance to the Antichrist, to the beast, ultimately the devil, over Yahweh. Like, that's where this is all heading. And so there's so much stuff out there about end times and prophecy. But I think as I've been contemplating and reflecting on this subject and how it's so much deeper than just fame and fortune and wealth. Like, that's definitely real. It's happening, and it's happening now, and it's happened before, and it will continue to happen. But this concept of people getting deceived, sacrificing who they are, their morals, their standards, in exchange for knowledge, for power, for wealth, for wisdom, for affluence, for all of it. It's all leading towards the ultimate choice. Hey, take this mark and you're going to be like God, essentially. It's going to be something that's going to be so crazy. People who won't take it are going to be in such a minority that it's why it's so scary. And this is why we have to, as Christians, like, preach the gospel, like, get the message of Jesus out there. Because once this dude comes on the scene, and I don't know, is the church going to be here? Is the church not going to be here? I have no idea. But if the church is here during that time, I wonder if the whole world's getting deceived. It scares me, because this guy's going to have influence and control to the likes that we've never seen. And it's like, man, it's scary. And so that's why I think we have to be so awake and sober-minded and aware of what's going on in our culture, in our world. So why we have to hold on to and stand on the values of Scripture, the truth of what God has said. Jesus says in Matthew 16:26, he says, "For what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul?" This is like the verse for our time. And it's only going to increase. The fact that everybody has a voice now, everyone's got their own platform, that the potential to grow in fame and popularity and power and wealth is at an all-time high on a global stage. And it's like, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world, but you forfeit your soul in the process? The Faustian bargain is going to be global. And then ultimately leading towards that final moment, man, when Antichrist is on the scene and the world is deceived, and he's going to come at people with this whatever that is, whatever that mark is going to be. And that'll be the ultimate selling of your soul moment, the ultimate deal with the devil, literally, that I think is going to be literally changing people, altering who they are. But it's been programmed from the very beginning. I think it's been sown in culture, in society, from ancient civilizations all the way up to our modern day. It's been this overarching agenda leading up to the end.